shape of your life without even going to the gym. It all comes down to your nutrition.
And sometimes the best shape of your life is not about what you see in the mirror. It's about the feeling you feel inside.
Exactly. You know, and you got to think everything is subjective, right? Everything is subjective.
Yeah.
So the best shape of my life is not Tommy's best shape of their life. Tommy might be 400 pounds. He grew up overweight his entire life. You know, he's always
His whole
had
family could have been overweight.
he's
Never
always
had
had
anyone in shape. Yeah.
exactly, a bad relationship with food, like throughout his entire life. Now Tommy drops from 400 pounds to 350 and gets a better relationship with food. He's in a way better place than he was a month before.
Oh, definitely.
He doesn't need to have a six-pack. It's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. Like his best shape of their life might be 50 pounds below 400. And he will feel great once he went down from 400 to 350. He's gonna feel like $1 million.
Yep.
You know, and that is his best.
And you have to dig into that feelings. You really have to dive into those emotions. And I think one of the best ways to do it is by journaling or just by reflecting. You know, you have
Journaling
to
is great.
reflect. Yeah, you have to reflect, because by reflecting, that's how you get all these nuggets of motivation, of wisdom,
And
of inspiration.
you find things. Yeah, you find things about yourself that you might not even be aware of on your thoughts.
Exactly. And then you can use that to improve next time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the building blocks, you know, it's fundamentals.
It's what the way I say it to my guys when I'm referring to trading, but it pretty much with everything in life. The day you realize that you will never be the best version of yourself, that day you will be the best version of yourself. Because you will always want to be chasing that best version of yourself. You are never supposed to reach it. It's not something that you are supposed to be there, because guess what? Once you are there, you are going to go farther. And as you go, it's a never-ending cycle. So the best version of yourself is not a destination. It's not a place. It's a mindset that you will chase your entire life. And as long as you keep chasing that best version of yourself, you are going to be golden. And not just to yourself, to everybody around you. Like people don't realize how much influence they have on their small groups, either families or friends. Something that I love is every time every time I talk to like an acquaintance or like somebody that I haven't seen in a while or something like that, one of the best, like the quickest things, damn bro, I need to get in the gym. Why is that? They see me now, they are motivated because I am so passionate about the gym. I am in good shape, this and that. It makes them level up. And that's like the best thing about the whole deal. It's not about yourself. It's about everybody around you. Like I tell everybody, Elijah, our 3-year-old, he literally does everything I do. Like he will grab markers and like draw tattoos in his arms because I have tattoos in my arms.
Yeah.
He wants to eat what I eat. He's like, he goes to the bathroom and he like flexes in the mirror and tells daddy, look at my muscles. Like he's seeing something. Now imagine if I was that guy sitting on the couch, eating whatever, playing video games all day. What is he going to be imitating? What is his vision of this father figure going to look like?
Who are his role models?
The role models, the core values. What is this person? And it's not only with kids.
The people who are around him, who are influencing him, you know,
Exactly,
who are injecting him with all these little things, you know.
People underestimate how they can influence people around them.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I laugh sometimes because it is funny that I cannot have a conversation with anybody for more than 15 minutes before the gym thing pops up.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like, what are
Always
you
be
doing?
branding.
Yeah, like I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to like start making shirts now. But it's gonna come up
I'm
anyway.
guilty. I'm guilty of that too.
But and that's
Here, take a
and
card.
I'm sure it happens the same to you. Like people around you are chasing that because they see what you're doing and they
Exactly.
want to get there too. They also want to master themselves. They want to learn how to really understand what is going on in here because they see you. You are influencing people, and you can do that on a positive way or you can do it on a negative way. It's like they say, you will be as successful as your friends for no damn reason.
Yep. Dan
You will
Pena,
be,
right?
yeah,
Show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
you will be as broke as your friends for no damn reason.
Yep.
So,
Crazy, right?
but
And you can tell people this. You can tell people this straight in their face, and they'll be like, nah,
yeah,
that's not going
exactly.
to happen to me. That's not going to
Yeah,
happen to me. Well, statistics say otherwise, buddy.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so what are you going to do about it? It's because you don't have a why big enough. You don't have a purpose in life big enough. You don't have anyone you're doing this for big enough. You don't know yourself enough to do it for yourself yet. You know?
There was a study. There was a study years ago. I think it was from Harvard, from one of the statistics department, and he said that over like a huge sample of people, they found close groups of friends.
Yeah.
And they took those friends and they averaged their yearly income.
Yeah.
And everybody made the same amount of money with a margin of error of $15,000 a year.
Okay.
So everybody was making about the same amount of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
In those groups of friends.
Yeah.
And that is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and again, it just don't come because, again, the weak minds and the washed off minds are going to tell you the same thing. Oh, it's not about money. Well, guess what? It is about money. When you have a family, you cannot pay a mortgage without money. You cannot feed them without money. You cannot do anything without money. So
you can't save the rainforest in Brazil without money.
Yeah. You cannot help people without money.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that people want to create that narrative of money is the root of all evil. But okay, bro, you are broke. Okay, you are broke. Why don't you go and buy 100 turkeys at Publix and take it to a poor neighborhood? You can't because you're broke. Now, if you have money, the root of all evil, you could feed Thanksgiving to 100 families.
Or if you realize, if you have more information about money, then you can realize that you can use your business card and go buy those turkeys and then write it off at the end of the year, buddy. See, but you don't know these things because you don't educate yourself enough.
Most people don't even know what a write-off is.
Right? And it's like, yeah, go ahead. And I forgot what I was gonna say was I forgot. Go ahead.
So there's like just a crazy thing that it might blow some people's mind. Okay, so there is this program, and it's about buying.
So before I cut you off, what's your vision for this company, for this program that you're starting right now? What's the end game looking like for you right now? What do you want from beginning to end? What do you want? Why'd you start it? And what's the end goal for your clients who are enrolled in your programs?
So my stock market community, my goal is to literally have like an online university.
Okay.
I am even considering of finishing up my master's degree so I can get a CFP license, which is a certified financial planner. Because, if you don't have that, you got to say the not financial advice. Once you have that certification, it can be financial advice.
Yeah.
But my goal on the stock market side is to create a community and a place of education. Pretty much like imagine a how do you explain it?
So you want a group of like-minded people who can support one another by making money and getting fit.
Yeah, the biggest community.
And how are you going to get them there? How are you going to attract them there?
So right now they are working as two separate entities: the Beginner Investor Group LLC, and the other one is Easy Fit LLC.
And where can they find you? With those real quick.
So on Instagram right now, I'm still working on the website for the Easy Fit, which is the fitness coaching, but you can find me on Instagram at the Israel Perez, and on Twitter, which is where I post most of my stock market content. You can find me at Beginner Investor. Okay, just make sure that you are actually following me and not a scam account.
I'm gonna add to these videos. I'm gonna add little ribbons and little,
Okay,
like little
pop
little,
up thing.
I'm talking about, right? Little pop-ups,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'll add your tag, your
Okay.
your handles, and then some of the stuff we talked about too in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I want, and it's a crazy concept, which I don't think is crazy, but I think is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's crazy to people
it's
who
crazy.
think it's
Crazy to
crazy.
people with small minds. It's crazy to
Exactly.
people with small minds. I want to have create this destination, this place where it's like an all level up community. I want to teach people about nutrition, teach people about mindset, teach people about discipline, also teach people about how they can be independent and get off the rat race through the stock market. So I the way I picture it in my head is this website that you go in and there is tons of resources, a podcast where I talk to people, bring people in like yourself, people in different areas that can help other people level up. And just this massive, it's a lot of infrastructure that I have to create, but it's gonna be an everything in one leveling up program where it's not just about looking good, because looking good is just one small part of the equation. I know a lot of people that look good and are miserable. I know a lot of people that have money and they are miserable because they are really overweight, which those two are very common.
They're unbalanced.
They're imbalanced. It's
Yeah.
very common. It's very hard to see. Well, now it's a lot easier because social media, but it's very hard to find somebody that is very successful and very fit.
Okay.
They usually don't go together. But it's I want a place that I can just.
So it sounds like people who want to make money. I mean, this is how I see it. It's like, okay, yeah, I'll teach you how to make money. But then if they keep losing, red, right? Loss. It's like, okay, well, maybe your mind's not ready yet. Then, hey, I have another program for that we can implement, before you start learning about stocks. We can learn about stocks, but you're also going to learn about yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, and
better
pretty much
quality.
Everything relates to everything. In my opinion, everything in life is connected. Everything is energy. We are all connected to each other.
The law of vibration.
Exactly, law of vibration.
Have you heard of the law of touch?
Huh?
Have you heard the law of touch?
Uh-uh.
Let me blow your mind for a second. Okay. So the law of vibration, right? So
Yeah.
on top of that, there's a law of touch, which is an umbrella for everything. Okay. So here, check me out. So when you listen to something, like I'm talking, the acoustic wave patterns, functions, travel through the air and they travel into your ear. And in your ear, you have receptors. And the way how you hear is because of those acoustic wave patterns are traveling through your ear. Those wave patterns touch those little antennas, those little stems that are in your ears. Then you can start hearing because it's filtering those wave patterns to your ear. And then it's telling your brain like, oh, this is what you're hearing.
Yeah.
When you smell something, right? The smell travels to your nose to your sensory nose, and then in those sensors, it touches those sensors, and then you can smell and then understand what you're smelling. When you're tasting food, you don't understand the taste of the food until the food what touches your tongue.
Yeah.
Right? Again, when you see something, the light is reflective.
Yeah.
So it's bouncing off something, hitting your eyesight, your retinas,
Yeah.
and then so it's touching again.
Yeah.
It has to touch your eyes, and
For
then your
sure.
eyes can filter it with the color and everything else. So basically, it all goes back to that touch, right? It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I
That's,
mean, it is crazy. I never thought of that way. And in reality, yeah, everything has to make that contact
mhm.
for pretty much for anything to work. That's true. I never thought about that.
And then in us, like our main ingredients that are in us is hydrogen, methane, carbon, and forget the other one. But anyways, do you know what the 4 main ingredients that are out in space?
The same
Carbon,
one.
hydrogen, the same exact 4.
That's crazy.
Isn't that
That's
a
good.
trip? Isn't that a trip?
That's
That's why I
crazy.
say like everything out here is extra.
Oh yeah.
Like if you don't know anything about yourself, then everything out here is just extra. You're just reacting to life. You're just playing this guessing game of life.
And that's a horrible way to live life.
Isn't that a trip?
Yeah.
All right,
Dude,
so
like,
let's oh go ahead.
no, go ahead.
All right, so let's jump over to a few more of these questions,
Yeah.
and then I don't want to keep you too much longer. We've been going for about 2 hours.
Okay. Really?
But so yeah,
Wow.
we just hit 2 hours right now. It's like 30 minutes. It's just so good information. I'm telling you, whoever listens to this is gonna
Yeah,
is gonna get
stuff,
super
man.
motivated. They're
Good
getting
stuff,
so many nuggets. All right, so what are 3 daily habits you would recommend to someone?
I would say start small. Okay. I
Okay.
would say start small. One good habit, and again, something so simple. Stop hitting that snooze button in your alarm.
Okay.
You set up that alarm at that time for a reason. When that alarm goes off, get up. And the faster you get up the bed, the easier it's going to become. If you just lay there and you do the whole 5 more minutes, you're not gonna get up.
No.
So start small. That's a good habit.
Start small. Great. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
start small. Your
That's
alarm
awesome.
and reward yourself. You know what? Tell yourself. You know what? I got out with my alarm. Give yourself some props for that.
Can you give me an example of a small reward for a small goal? And then a large goal for a large reward, just so somebody can have some perspective on that.
Yeah. So, like, for example, I the way I eat about 5 meals a day. And I have these protein bars that I get them from, one of the nutrition companies that I'm not going to mention because they're not paying us to endorse them. So,
Not today.
not
Not
today. But if that it's macro friendly and everything, but as any protein bar, it has a little more fat that I'm happy with consuming, but it tastes
Okay.
really good. So if I go to the gym and I have a crazy good workout, and I can tell by everything just clicks, muscle mind connection, everything is perfect. I like muscle blood flow, the pump, everything went well. I went hard at the gym.
Okay.
I eat one of those protein bars when I get home. There is days that I have other stuff going on, and again, the mind muscle connection is something very important when you are at the gym. And if you are not very focused on what you're doing and targeting those muscle groups, the workout is going to be mediocre. Okay, you are
Okay.
not going to get that blood flow into that muscle, so you're not going to be quote unquote pumped. It's going to feel like a mediocre workout. If I have a workout like that, I don't have that protein bar.
Okay.
So it's just a small reward. I'm keeping it within the boundaries of my macro nutrition plan, stuff like that. But it's something just like a little, and a
Yeah,
big,
it's a little sugar high, I guess. You know, a
yeah,
little reward. Yeah, just exactly
yeah,
like you said, right?
just a little
Perfect. Yeah.
reward,
Okay.
and something bigger.
Hmm.
If I look at those targets mostly on a month to month basis.
Okay.
And for example, if there is a month that I hit my target, or I have like a new high on the month in terms of capital, I buy myself, or not just me, I might buy my wife something
Okay.
that is nice, and I would consider it to be, expensive,
Okay.
like a very nice pair of shoes, or
Nice.
a very nice bag for my wife, or something like that. And
And
but
how do you not feel guilty about that?
you know what? Because it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. You let it go and it comes right back. You hold
Mm.
on to it and it's gonna become very hard to keep getting it.
Yep.
So having that abundance mindset, you are not, I'm not focused. I am not looking, I'm like, I'm letting this amount of money go. I
Mhm.
am looking at it on a positive way. I had a really great month. Next month is going to be even better. So I'm going to celebrate this win. And
Awesome.
I'm already thinking about the next month. Next month,
Awesome.
when I break that target next month, I'm going to get this.
Look at that.
And
All because you're rewarding yourself. Look how the
exactly.
mindset just goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your brain becomes addictive to those chemicals.
Exactly. And you have to become addictive. You have to
Yeah,
become addictive in the
you have to.
beginning.
You have
You
to.
have to. Yeah. All right, let's try another one. So let's ask you one more other question. I want to ask you this one, which was, what is the best compliment you have ever received?
The best compliment. So we were talking about it. We were talking
Was
about it
that from that
earlier.
gentleman who left
Yeah,
his job? Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And
That's a
again,
great one.
there is other things, like, for example, let's not even relate it to money, or
Okay.
nothing that has to do with money, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
something as small as my parents telling me that they are so impressed and so proud of how respectful my kids are.
Ah, okay.
That makes me proud, because the army thing, and
Yeah.
the soldier leaves the army, but the army never leaves the soldier, type of deal. I'm like super OCD with timelines. Okay,
Okay.
if I
Yeah.
say be ready at 5 o'clock, you need to be ready 15 minutes before that, like the
Mhm.
army made us.
Yeah.
Because if you are on time, you are late.
Yeah.
If you are early, you are on time.
Mhm.
And that, like, I pass that stuff down to my kids, and for some people might be like, oh, that's a little extreme, and I'm like, it's not. It's really not. It's a
Yeah.
very simple concept.
Yeah.
The early bird gets the worm.
You're teaching them morals, values, ethics,
Exactly. things like
beliefs,
things like
traditions,
we have three boys.
legacy.
Yeah, we have three boys. So one of the things that I always tell them, even with my dad, like, they literally own the house next to mine. So they
Okay.
come here often, right? Like, you do not, if you're sitting on the couch and somebody comes in, you do not greet anybody from the couch. You stand up.
Yeah. Do the
And
same
those are
thing.
simple things. And
Yeah.
if one of them gets distracted and don't do it, I call them out. Get
Mhm.
your ass up.
Mhm.
Because, like, those little building blocks, they
Yeah.
compound. The law of compounding, those
Yep.
all those little things compound and build the people's morals and values, and that how they approach life. Like, I
Exactly. They
cannot.
pay dividends. Yeah. Pay
Exactly,
dividends. Yeah.
exactly. I cannot. And just from a respect standpoint, if I come somewhere and somebody's sitting down and I'm gonna shake their hand, they need to stand up to shake my hand.
Mhm.
I'm not shaking your hand if you're not getting up.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just a simple respect thing. When somebody walks in a room that you are in, and you are going to greet them, you stand up. And that's
Mhm.
something that you learn in the military too.
Yeah.
You are any room, anybody higher than you walks in, you got to get your ass up until they
You know,
tell
we're
you to be okay, at
we're
ease.
talking about confidence, and we're talking about military. It brings up another factor is that I didn't realize this until later in life. But in the military, they instill confidence in you
Yeah,
in marching without you even realizing it. Tony Robbins, right? Let's go back to Tony Robbins for a second. He did a Stanford did a, or Harvard or Stanford did a study on him about confidence because he had this thing, this technique that says if you want to be confident, stand up tall, put your shoulders back, put your hands on your hips, and repeat your affirmations. I am the best. I will be a millionaire.
yeah,
All those good affirmations, right? Well, he was doing that for a long time, long time. And he would say, this is scientifically proven, this is going to make change. Harvard did a study, and sure enough, they found the chemical change of confidence just by simply standing up tall, having your shoulders back straight, arms on your hips, and just looking up tall and being confident. It literally changes the
yeah.
chemical balance in your brain just by changing that posture. It's crazy. I never thought about that while
No,
we're in the military.
it is true. I'm huge, even with my family, on the
Mhm.
stand straight thing.
Yeah.
Like I cannot, like it is really a pet peeve
Yeah.
of seeing somebody, that I care about, because a
Mhm.
stranger,
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't care. But
Yeah,
somebody
do
that I
what you
care
wanna do.
about, see
Yep.
him like hunched or something, is really a pet peeve to me. Like
Mhm.
I'm always reminding, especially the kids, because they get upset. What is their natural physical reaction of being upset? They go like this.
Your nervous system
Yeah,
is
they
crunching up,
that
yeah.
that being a shame thing. That
Yeah.
shame reflects on your physical. It
Yep.
reflects on how you carry your body. Like a dog puts their tail between the legs.
Exactly.
Humans will sag the shoulders and look down.
Yep.
And there is no benefit whatsoever on that physical reaction. So the more, back to self-awareness, the more self-aware you become and you notice you're doing that, you can fix it on the spot, and it would actually make you look better.
It
you know
would. Yeah.
yeah,
But
it's
and even you know what's even harder? It's telling somebody this.
yeah, people get offended.
Yeah, they get offended.
People get
They
offended.
get offended. Yeah, and you think you're just, "Oh, because I love you, I wanna share this information with you," but my bad.
Dude, like
Sorry.
it's crazy because society is like, it's so sad how washed down and how weak-minded,
Yep.
the normal people, like the average person, has become.
The masses.
Nobody can take criticism of any shape, even if it's a good thing.
It's crazy.
Like I want to get criticized. I want people that
Yeah,
are higher than I am tell
mhm,
me, "Hey, dude, you are doing this wrong."
exactly.
Like, like I'm the way I'm looking at it is like, why wouldn't you want that? Why
Yeah,
wouldn't you
I might
want
be so busy that I might not see
exactly?
these 1 or 2 little tails that are dragging
Or,
back here. Thank you
or
for
like,
pointing that out.
yeah, like having somebody that you look up to or something,
Mhm.
or somebody that is where you want to be at, tell you, "Hey, bro, you might want to change the way you're doing these things."
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
You know, but people are so, and again, it goes back to, people are so self-centered that they can even fathom the thought of somebody criticizing them. It's so
Crazy.
offensive. Like Wes Watson, this guy on Instagram, he's a big like motivational speaker. He was talking about it, how these people always talk trash about, people on social media putting content out and stuff like that. But in reality, if you think about it, and he mentioned something that I was like, interesting. He's like, the people that are not sharing information on social media are the selfish ones,
Yeah.
because they are so selfish, and that again, they can even fathom the thought of somebody criticizing them in some way, shape, or form. They could not take that. So, for example, quick example, when I started YouTube, I got a bunch, majority positive feedback, but I would get those guys that are very unhappy and very miserable, and they want to mirror those emotions into other people, and they will use it with me, and they will tell about my accent and that I didn't even speak English and stuff like that. Do you think a person is like, just for the listeners, just like let this sink in? Hate never comes from above. Again, hate never comes from above. It always comes from below.
Mhm.
So whoever is hating on you,
You hear that,
he is
people?
hating, he is hating on the fact that you are either doing something or you have something that they wanted to have or do, but they gave up on that idea.
And they tried it one time and they failed at it.
And they fell and they gave up. And now they are hating on you exactly because of that, but never comes from above. Nobody that is on a better place than you currently are, financially, emotionally, physically, is gonna look down on you and hate on you.
Yeah. Because
Like
they've been there.
it's always going to be the like, you know, the guys that are unhappy. Like I used to get a lot of hate on YouTube.
The
I used to
thinkers,
get,
not the doers.
no, I
Yeah.
would, you know what? I would go over my comments. I would reply to the hundreds of thank you
I would
if.
cry. I would cry a little bit.
No, but I will take the time. I will
Yeah.
reply to the positive feedback.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
negative feedback, I will heart it, like the comment, just so he knows that I read his comment.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm not gonna spend a second of my life
Yeah.
responding to that person because he's obviously not in a good place. If somebody is taking time out of their day to tell me that my accent is horrible, he obviously has way too much time,
Yep.
you know. And you can apply that to everything in life. Hate never comes from above. It's a very simple concept.
It never yeah. You know, and it's funny that we talk about that, how somebody tries once and then they fail. And then here's the worst part. They pass that failure to the next generation.
Yep.
And here's the worst part. If they don't meet people like you or I who want to change lives and influence them and bring the awareness about themselves, they're going to pass that same failure to the next generation,
Yep.
to their kids or to their cousins or to their relatives or to their friends and groups, to their students, to their whatever, to their coworkers, to their
Yep.
subordinates, to their peers, whatever it is, you know, unless they make that change, unless they stand up to that person and be like, oh, that sucks for you, but I might have failed once, but I'm going to look at all these 100 other ways that I'm going to try now.
Yeah.
That's the difference between entrepreneurs and workers, you know, unfortunately. And you need both, right? And you need both.
You need a mentor. If you're listening to this right now and you are trying to step out of that box as you should and try something that you are passionate about and you've been thinking about it forever and you know you have, you should have a mentor. You should have somebody helping you through that process, somebody that has potentially gone through it. A huge taboo out there, and everybody's like so weird about it, is to pay for a mentor. There is nothing wrong in doing that. High performers, high peak performers
Michael
have
Jordan
mentors.
had a
Michael
mentor.
Jordan, Kobe
Kobe
Bryant.
Bryant. They had the same mentor.
Yes. You have guys like Brad Lee, Grant
Yeah.
Cardone, like all those guys. Alex
Warren Buffett had a
Hormozy.
mentor.
Yeah, Alex Hormozy paid Grant Cardone $100,000 for a 1 hour phone call.
Yep.
So don't ever think that somebody's trying to take advantage of you
Or
to
get one over
mentor
you.
you for a couple of $100. Believe me, it will probably be the best investment you've ever done, and that's going to be an investment in yourself. Okay. Like Grant Cardone said in an interview, what is the best, if I had $3,000 right now, what is the best investment that I could do? Like, where should I put my money on? And he said, you should put it on yourself. And the person asked, how much? He said, the $3,000. He's like, you already broke. You got $3,000 to your name. You got $3,000 to your name. You're already broke.
Yeah.
So invest in yourself, acquire a skill, learn something, use somebody to mentor you through that process, avoid some of that learning curve. You know, you might get to skip a couple of steps on the ladder up because that person that is helping you has already made those mistakes for you.
And then you're going to have those moments where you're going to be like, oh, I never thought about it like that.
Exactly.
You're going to start telling yourself that. You're going to start
Yeah.
having those ideas within yourself, you know, because of that knowledge you're getting.
Exactly,
The
dude.
quality
And
of questions and the quality of thoughts are going to keep getting better.
From my experience, because in my coaching on the stock market, I have a fee to be in the chat room, and there's a higher fee for one-on-one coaching, right? And it's obviously more of a high ticket item for the one-on-one. But I tell you how 9 out of 10 outcomes come out. Man, I wish I would have done this sooner.
Everybody says that, bro. I get that same exact feedback.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
I
didn't know that about myself. I should have done this sooner.
I wish I would have done this sooner.
Yeah.
So you have that mentality,
so
I don't want to pay nobody to like help me out with this. Well, guess what? That little fee that you're paying up front might save you thousands and thousands of dollars on the road there. Because I've made so many mistakes already doing this that I can save you those mistakes. And at least in the stock market, those mistakes are expensive. You know?
Yeah. So you know you don't want to make it again.
Yeah. So for anybody that is listening to this or watching, if you are considering hiring somebody with a set of expertise in a niche that you are trying to get into or, you know, level up on, go for it. Go for it. Invest.
It might be uncomfortable.
Yourself.
It might be
uncomfortable.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah. Don't be that guy that goes to Neiman Marcus and puts a pair of $750 Louis Vuitton shoes on the credit card, but don't want to pay $300 for a mentorship. Don't be that guy.
Going back to his roommate's house.
Exactly. Don't be that guy. I'm telling you, I have a mentor. I'm sure you have a mentor. We help each other. We help each other. It's so much easier. Like if I have any questions about like social media stuff, I go to Morfett because he knows and he's done what I'm trying to do. Like I'm not very social media savvy. I know he is. So he provides that value. And there is that one connection in every single aspect of whatever you want to do. There is somebody that has that value to provide to you.
I have a quote for that.
What is that?
It's some of your strengths are my weaknesses, and some of your weaknesses are my strengths.
Exactly. Right? You know, and I think it's so funny, just like we talked about, like people are like, oh, you pay for coaching? Like Michael Jordan pays for coaching. Kobe Bryant pays for coaching.
Not just for hundreds of dollars or
those are
whatever. Yeah, you're talking thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And you think somebody's trying to scam you out of $50? Like, no, like that's the exact mindset that is keeping you exactly where you are right now. And that I think limiting beliefs, thinking scarcity. I cannot afford this. Yes, you can afford that because you spent $500 on the club 2 weeks ago. So you can sure afford a $500 coaching program.
Exactly.
You just don't want to. Like Jim Rohn said, if you really want it, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse.
It's a matter of time. Think about it as therapy. Remember before how people used to be scared to be like, "Oh, I have a therapist," or "Oh, I'm going to
Yeah.
therapy." Now everybody's like, "Hey, I got a therapist." Now they're
Yeah.
promoting that shit, you know?
Evolution.
So eventually people are going to be, and it's getting there. People are starting to realize, and they're starting to decipher. They're starting to break through all the fake quantity of all this stuff, and they're realizing that the people that we're talking about, who are those fake accounts, fake people who are just chasing the money, those are the people who kind of learned it, whether on the internet or through books, but they don't have the real life experience to tie it together. See, like
No.
that's the difference between us. We have the book smarts, we have the degrees, the background, and we
Mhm.
have the real world life experience.
Yep.
The biggest scarcity in people right now is life experience.
Yep.
We have tons of life experience, tons. And the best part, they're completely different, you know?
Yep.
So
And
with that life experience tied with that education, that right there, those are the type of coaches you want to hire because
yeah.
they've read about it, they've seen it, and they've applied it. Not just that, but they've reflected and optimized it for you.
Yeah. And the approachability too. One thing that people don't realize how important it is. If you DM right now, Dean Graziosi, Tony Robbins,
Mhm.
uh, any of those big guys, you are not talking to them.
No.
They have social media managers.
Or
The
AI.
fact, huh?
Or AI.
Or yeah, or an algorithm, or
Yeah.
like some sort of like
Auto
plugin.
responses.
Yeah, like any of those big guys,
Yeah.
you are not going to be talking to. The fact that you can DM Morphet or DM me, and you are going to be talking to us, we are approachable. Like you can reach like directly to us, directly to the source.
Mhm.
That's a huge advantage. I don't know for how long you're going to have it because eventually I'll probably have a social media manager too. But take advantage
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
it.
I already got the marketing team. I already got the strategists. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's just getting
You,
bigger and bigger. And
you see
and
what
see, we're going through the process. We're going through the exact process that people are scared to take. And we're
yeah.
physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, we're going through it right now. And we're figuring out, okay, this didn't work. But now at least I know that doesn't work. But step 1 and 2 worked for it. I'm going to take that to the next thing, and then I'm going to apply it to the next thing, and then I'm going to write about it, and then I'm going to reflect on it, and then I'm going to remember it and put it into a program so that other people can jump these 3 steps that I had to go through, you know,
Yeah.
because
And
we
then the
because
thing
that's
is
our
that
mission,
people,
right? That's
yeah,
our mission.
and people don't realize too that you know the more the more knowledge we acquire because we are as high performing people, we are always again chasing that best version of ourselves. We are
Mhm.
always learning new things constantly,
Yeah.
constantly. So the more knowledge, the more value we can provide, but that value is attached to money. So people don't understand, like, oh, why is this coach so expensive? Well, that person has been acquiring knowledge for the last 10 years. So he's
Collecting data.
exactly his value is directly correlated to his knowledge. Like very funny, when I started the beginner investor group chat room, I was charging $30 a month, 30 $30 a month. 10 months down the road is now $75 a month. Okay, so it's funny to me to see people that got in the group at $30 a month and they left and they come back and now they pay $75 a month. It's
Oh
hilarious.
man,
It's hilarious.
they
And I
had
think,
it and lost it, and now they
yeah,
regret it.
yeah,
Welcome to my relationships.
and there is a bunch of people in the chat room
Yeah.
that I was looking at the other day. There's a bunch of people in the chat room that they joined day one that I opened it, and they are still
Yeah.
here. And most of them don't really need to be here. They are here for the community. They are here for
Yeah.
the support, stuff like that, not for the
Because you're
trade.
like-minded, because you
Yeah,
don't have that
like
anywhere
minded.
else. You
We
can't go
we
to
have
the bar,
yeah,
right?
exactly. We have fun. We support each other. When
Mhm.
it's a bad day, you got people to talk to that understand what's happening.
Mhm.
But but what the point that I want to make there is that the amount of value is always going to be directly attached or directly related to the cost. You will always, if you want more, you want somebody more experienced, somebody bigger, you will have to pay more money. So, with that being said, you don't need to feel like, because this is the thing that hits the most people, and it's all about their ego, right? Like this book, Ego is Your Enemy. When people are paying somebody to help them, they are being vulnerable.
Yep.
They are accepting the fact that that person either knows more, has more, or is higher than yourself, because you are paying them to show you. And that is a huge hit on your ego. And any listener here, I recommend you right now look it up on Amazon. Ego is Your Enemy. It's a
Okay.
great book.
I'll post it on here.
Yeah, it's a great book. And a lot of these things and a lot of these like taboos and stuff like that, it all comes down to ego. Because I don't want to accept the fact that you know so much more than me about this, that I have to pay you for you to show me. That's People are not doing it mostly because of the money. People are doing it mostly because their ego. It
Yeah.
goes way deeper than the money part. Because again, those same people spend 3 times that coaching fee on a nightclub that they can
Yep.
even remember what happened the following day.
Hmm.
So they are like, oh, this is too expensive. But in reality, it's not about the money. It's never about the money. It's about the ego. It's about the pride. It's about admitting that somebody is better than you or something, and you want to learn what they know. That's the part that stops most people from reaching out.
Because they're still judging them. They don't have that
Exactly.
gratitude. They don't have that
Yeah.
life experience to know that life is different in other places of the world, that not everybody's the same, like here in the US, or you know what I mean?
Yep.
Life experience, bro. Get that
Yeah.
life experience. Go travel around. Go meet different people. Military was a great place because you met all walks of life,
Yep.
and you realize that that there's different income brackets, there's different people, there's different common senses, there's different cultures, there's different everything, you
Yep.
know. And that's what we expose you to. That's what we teach
Yep.
you,
Yep.
because you need to understand that. You need to realize the real world.
Yep. Just think, just to close it up. Just think that whatever you are right now and what happened in the past, one first thing, what happened in the past, stop worrying about that.
Hmm.
Don't even look at it. You ain't going that way. You ain't going backwards. You're going forward. So forget about what happened in the past. There's nothing you can do to change that. Okay, that is wasted time. Just look at it that way.
Exactly.
It's a wasted currency, something that you are not going to get back. But now reflect and know and understand that you have 100% control of what you can do starting right now, the moment that you're listening to this or you're watching this. Starting right now, you have full control of what you can do, and the possibilities are limitless. There is no limitations. All the limitations are right here, and you are building those limitations yourself. You are putting those walls right in front of your face yourself. Nobody else is doing it. It's not the government, it's not society, nobody else. You are doing it to yourself. And once you fully understand that you are the one that controls your thoughts, your life is just going to change. And again, there are a lot of people, more fit myself, that can help you get from point A to Z a little faster than if you take the journey all yourself. Never
Hmm.
be embarrassed or never be ashamed of reaching out for help, because at the end, that's all it is. Is we are helping people. We're trying to help people because we understand that people right now are living in a way that is sad. Period. It's sad. There is so much more that you can be. There is so much more that you can do, and you are choosing not to. Again, it's a choice. You are personally choosing not to. You keep telling yourself these pretty lies when you should be telling yourself the ugly truth.
Exactly.
Those ugly truths, they're not gonna feel nice, but you need to hear them from yourself. From yourself. Because when somebody tells you, you get upset and you know exactly why. Because it's touching sore spots. But guess what? The great thing about those sore spots is that they are always gonna be sore unless you personally recognize them and work on them yourself.
Hmm.
Once you identify those trouble areas, those sore spots, that's when they ain't gonna be sore no more. That's when your confidence is gonna go up. That's when you're gonna feel better about yourself. When you're gonna start moving towards those goals, killing those goals, like get that drive. Once you work on yourself at a deep level through self honesty, because remember, to move forward, you need self mastery. You need to master self. For you to be able to master self, you need self honesty.
Yeah. What are you good at? What are you horrible at? And the best part, we know these answers. We know I can ask anybody, what is the one thing in your life that is preventing you or stopping you from becoming the exact person who you know you want to become? And they know it. Oh, it's
Yeah,
because I keep choosing the wrong relationships. Oh, it's because I keep having these bad habits. Okay, what are those bad habits? Well, it's this, and this. You see what I mean?
yeah,
Everybody knows exactly what to do. They know their hot spots. They know most of their pain points. It's just a matter of putting it through a process,
yeah. So
uncovering it through little steps, because they want to rip off that band-aid right away. It's not about
yeah,
that. Too much change too soon isn't good for anyone or any one thing, you
a
know.
lot of people need also that accountability person that we
Yeah.
also that keeping you accountable,
Hmm.
keeping you accountable. Like I have clients in the fitness coaching that I know they struggle with food.
Hmm.
So I text them like 3 4 times a day. Hey, what did you just have for food? Because I see when they log their food on my fitness pal because I'm connected to their fitness pal.
Perfect.
And I'd be like, okay, hey, so what happened in breakfast? I see you went over your fats. Oh, I had this, and that. Okay, let's try this tomorrow. Okay, let's instead of 3 eggs, just eat
Awesome.
1 egg and some egg whites.
Awesome.
Let's try this. But that accountability, that now is in their head. Then is gonna know when I fuck up.
Not just
So
that, but oh shit, he really does
yeah,
care.
exactly. Like then he got me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that accountability person is essential in your progress
Hmm.
because it might not just be about food. It might be about again, like Morphe said, bad habits. You are going to that spot that you keep going to, knowing that it's exactly in that spot where your troubles are, but you keep going right back to it, and you keep going
Because
right
it's
back.
familiar.
Exactly, it's familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are,
Yeah.
habits,
Our
and
brain, right? This is
yeah,
too much change. Let's go back to what's familiar.
hey, let's go back to what's familiar. Let's
Bad
let's
relationships,
let's
bad
lower the
people,
risk. Yeah, let's
dependencies.
we don't know. The brain tells you pretty much, okay, dude. We if you make it right here, we don't know what's that way.
Yeah.
So you know what? You've been making a left for 10 years. It's not good what is there, but we know what is there. So the
Mhm.
risk is already lower. The expectations are lower. The surprise factor is lower. So we're gonna go that way. Because me as the brain, I don't like surprises. I don't like that surprise factor, and I don't like that uncertainty.
It's too much
So
unknown.
yes, too
Yeah.
much unknown. That right turn, no, I don't want to go there. And that's what where people fall in that trap, going right back to that place where all your problems are. It's a matter of uncertainty, surprise factor, and the known. Your brain, for either bad or good, knows what happens there. He rather goes there, even if what happens is bad, but he knows
Mhm.
what happens.
Yeah.
Your subconscious doesn't like uncertainty, doesn't like unfamiliar places, and
Just
that's
like the
exactly
bell.
Yeah.
Just like the bell, you know exactly what's gonna happen, but you're still gonna do
But
it.
I'm still listening to it.
That's
Yeah.
how powerful our fucking brains are.
Yeah.
That's the power of your mind. And you can control that,
Yeah.
right? I teach that your imagination versus your conscience imagination. You can feed your imagination consciously exactly what you want it to create, not let your imagination create what it think it might create. Because
Yeah.
how does your imagination create what it creates? Well, it grabs it from your limbic system. It grabs it from your memory. It grabs it from your long term, short term, and all of your life experiences. And guess what? All those past life experiences is what caused you to go left instead
Yeah.
of right, because it's what's familiar. It's what you know. It's what your
Yeah.
brain knows. And it's going to do everything in its power at that exact moment to make you turn left.
Yeah. And that's why people stay in the rat race, the hamster in the
Yeah.
wheel,
Yeah.
because that's what's
Everybody's in a
familiar.
habit loop. We're all in a habit loop,
Yeah.
but it's identifying your habit loop.
Yeah.
It's identifying all those factors. And then you can be like, oh, okay, my habit loop isn't that bad, but maybe I just change this one little habit right here and this one little habit over here. Oh dang, I just 10x my whole habit loop now. You
Yeah.
know?
Small
But I would
changes.
rather go to happy hour. I would rather, I'd rather go whatever, fill in the blank, XYZ.
Yeah,
It
just
doesn't
just
matter.
just remember that big engines to run require small gears to run inside the engine.
There it is
Okay,
right there.
so everything starts from a very small move, changing direction, changing frequency, and it starts compounding until
Exactly.
it's bigger than you thought it could be for the
Mhm.
best.